So let's get busy. Thank you guys once again for being on time. We are all set. I believe we're live on Facebook as well. And also, if you need to review any of this information or if you missed the chance to ask a question, anything at all, we will be recording. So you can, of course, review the information. And then, of course, also feel free to always get in touch with us by email, Facebook, Instagram, any channel that you like. And we'll be here to support you throughout the challenge. So without further ado, welcome to the Chikara Challenge. We get a chance to focus on what we can control with so many things that we can't control at any given time, but especially now with the government regulated lockdowns and businesses being closed and being reminded to stay in. Now, at least while we're staying in, we can do something to improve ourselves, including our health, fitness, and mindset. So this is to start a 6-week challenge, but of course, you know that it doesn't end there. But again, as an entry point, we have 6 weeks to work together and make sure that we are not only working on our training, which we've always done here at Chikara, but also to look into some more nutritional support, as well as mindset and stress management. So again, it might seem kind of crazy to put more on your plate right now, adding another challenge amidst all the other challenges that we're facing. But in reality, this is the best time. You are kind of a captive audience to your own improvement. So we'll be able to support each other. We're going to build simple habits, and we have 3 kind of key areas. We're going to look at these in a lot more detail here shortly. But those key areas are supporting a healthy immune system, managing our mindset, managing our stress, and of course, building fitness as always. So some of these habits you guys will already have in place, and it's just going to be a matter of continuing them. You'll have some easy wins. Some things maybe you haven't thought about before, equally easy, but you're just not doing them yet. And we're going to be here to give you those ideas and support you throughout that process. All of these behaviors that we're looking at, they are long-term behaviors that are great. But again, in this 6 weeks, that short term, this is going to be a key kind of chance to build those good habits and then have them for the rest of your life, hopefully. Again, you'll have a support team, not only with each other, but also with all of us here at Chikara. And this is exciting for a couple different reasons. We are certainly excited about it. We looked at the situation and saw what we could do. We had a team meeting, and the feeling after the meeting was actually much more optimistic than anything. We are pumped about it, and we think you should be too. Again, life is giving you this extra time. You're not going to be commuting, so that's maybe an extra hour right there that you're going to have time to build these new habits. You'll be able to focus on these things that, again, maybe you thought that they were pretty good for you, or you thought that was a cool idea. Maybe you heard about it on the internet or something, but you never had the chance to do it. So it's something that you were neglecting, but now you can come back and give it a good, the good old college try. You'll be less tempted, right? You're not going to be going out to work meetings or drinking parties, things like that. So if you have a family, you'll be able to create positivity for them, be a good example for your kids if you have them. If you don't have kids, you'll be a good example for yourself. You get to be your own hero, and there's nothing better than that. It's also what's very interesting or unique is that it's customized to you. We're going to have a couple of different options in each of those areas of immunity, fitness, and mindset, that you get to choose the ones that resonate with you. You get to choose your easy wins. And then you're just going down a checklist week by week and, giving yourself those points every day and focusing on the things that are positive that you can focus on. There are a few other reasons that it's exciting. Again, there are no generic rules here. We're not going to force you to do anything. These are all choices that you're going to make. And again, that's the key to making those habits. You have to have the agency, and you're going to take it with this challenge. And again, we're here to support you, and you'll also have the other challenge members supporting you. That support can be found in the Facebook page as well as by email by getting in touch with us. These habits and rituals, again, you're going to choose them. They're unique to you. And again, we're going to support immunity, manage stress, and build fitness. So what some other overriding themes or underlying themes, the challenge is all about keeping it simple. None of these tasks are super time intensive. Probably the most time intensive option that you'll see is 30 minutes of training or exercise, which a lot of us were already doing. If that's too much to put on your plate, then you have other options, again, that you can find those easy wins. So we want to keep it simple. You choose a few big things that, again, resonate with you, you think you can handle, and then you get to really prioritize that and nail that down. These are also all sustainable practices. Once you get in the habit, once you build these habits, then you'll feel lost without them. It'll almost be like brushing your teeth. I know in my case, if I don't train, I feel like I didn't brush my teeth. It's that sense of hygiene and sustainability, and it's something that you want to do every day. Again, the reason you want to do it is because it's manageable and because you've chosen it based on your own kind of desires. Also, all of these things that we're going to suggest, or all of these options that we're going to have for you, they're chosen, or they're presented as options because they are effective. We have some resources. We have a resource PDF with links to all of the studies, or at least one citation per idea. Again, touting its effectiveness. This is not, like bro science, or we're not selling woo. We are only giving you what's effective and what's tried and true, and the things that we know are going to work for you and work for us. And lastly, again, kind of going back to the teeth brushing analogy, these are all habit focused. It's automatic. You don't even have to think about it. And if you don't do it, you almost feel lost without it. So again, it's a permanent, healthy life change that will give you a healthy life, until the end of your days, which will be a long way out if we have anything to say about it. So again, those big areas, we are supporting our immunity, we are managing our stress and our mindset, and we are building fitness. So let's take a look at each one of these to kind of see what those are all about. Before we go into any of these, while all of these are, supported by research, in the end, the fact is that we are not medical professionals. So we want you to keep in mind that this is just a fun challenge to help you guys develop a basic lifestyle, exercise, health habits that are going to support a healthy immune system. We won't make any other outrageous claims beyond, giving you something positive to focus on. Again, it's designed to give us something to stay focused on that's positive amidst all this. And we want to make sure that you guys realize that it's optional to participate. We're not guaranteeing COVID-19 prevention, but we are giving you some options to, again, support a healthy immune system, support your mindset, and build your fitness. So here's what the tracking worksheet looks like. You guys will receive this. You guys can see day by day, as well as several weeks. You get the 6 weeks that we're going to be working on this challenge. So you get one sheet. You can see up at the top, we have the 6-week Chikara challenge. Again, a quick introduction there. The rules, and we're going to look at this again later. All we're asking is for 4 out of 7 days. So you don't even have to have 100% hit rate here. And you also have some flexibility even within that. So we're going to take a look at that as we go. Up top, you'll have the area where you can write down the habits that have resonated with you. We're going to see those detailed habits here on the next couple slides, but this will be your area that you can keep those at the forefront. Those are your priorities. You see them every time you look at the sheet, and you get to ask yourself, did I do this? And then again, day by day, and then you also get your weekly tally there on the right side of the chart. So you also have what we're going to look at here shortly. You have those immunity options, those mindset options, and those fitness options down at the bottom. And we're going to look at those in detail. So again, simple, the tracking sheet, you get to choose your habits. You're going to commit to your habits up there at the top. And then you get to track your habits by clicking the boxes and getting your weekly tally, your weekly point count. We're going to level up our characters here over the next 6 weeks. So now looking at the details. So these are basically all nutrition related, but again, our nutrition is a key area that is going to support our healthy immune systems. And we can go through those one by one. Now on this particular area, you can see those positive, those green pluses. Those are things that we can add to our diets. And then the negative, the red minuses, are going to be things that we can take out of our diet to, again, help support a healthy immune system. So let's start from the top. We have fruits and veggies. You guys already knew this, but now we have a nice little criteria, about 800 grams of fruits and veggies per day. So that's going to be 800 grams total. Example might be 100 grams of fruit and 700 grams of veggies. Again, you can see right down there, we want to see more vegetables than fruit. Again, in terms of glycemic index, we don't want to see any major spikes. Vegetables are going to be our friends there. High fiber, high nutrient density. Greens and berries are going to be our buddies here. Again, berries, as far as fruit's concerned, are relatively low glycemic index, but still very high in that nutritive value. And then greens, things like kale, spinach, all of the various greens we can find in Japan, along with all the other classic vegetables. If you have a question about what applies as a vegetable, I know some folks may be surprised, like corn is not a vegetable, that's a grain. Potatoes are a tuber, not a vegetable. So if you have any specific questions about what applies to being a good vegetable option, we're here to support you. Feel free to ask any questions. Next up, we see fermented foods. This one is certainly a pick of mine. I have natto and kimchi every night as part of my dinner. What we're looking for fermented foods is 2 to 4 servings per day. Again, those fermented vegetables, which are very easy to find in Japan and likely throughout the world, are going to be preferable to yogurts. Yogurts can have some hidden sugars that might be surprising to some people. So again, what we're looking for is kimchi, maybe sauerkraut, natto, miso, Japanese pickles. There's a ton of different tsukemono. So keep an eye out for those fermented pickled vegetables. Again, kimchi, especially if you're not eating meat, kimchi is a great way to get something savory. Same with natto, actually. So those are some great options. Next up, everybody knows that they should drink some more water. We see that down here on the bottom left, drinking water. And again, we have a clear criteria for you. So what we want to see with water is, depending on where you are and how you measure your fluids, 1/2 of your body weight in ounces or 30 milliliters per kilogram of body weight. So we have 2 examples down there. A 130-pound person would want about 65 ounces. And then very similar weight, a 60-kilo person would want about 1.8 liters. So just multiply out for that. For your kilos, multiply by 30, and that's your milliliters that you're aiming for water. Filtered and purified water are preferable. If you're from an area that has high quality public water, that's passable as well. Next up is basically related back to that 800 grams per day plant-based nutrient sources. Again, those vegetables and fruits. The next one is that berry or green smoothie. That's just going to be a quick way to get, who knows, maybe like 200 or so grams of vegetables and fruits just in one dash. So you can do that right when you wake up. It's done. You knocked it out. You got your point for the day. You're good to go. And it's delicious too. So now looking at the minuses, what we can take out of our diet. Again, what we're shooting for here is 4 out of 7 days. So even though some of us might balk at removing sugar or removing alcohol, hey, can you do it for 4 days out of the week? And then maybe those 3 days you can have moderate amounts, responsible amounts of either or each. I think all of us can do that. So what we're looking at is no sugar. Again, a lot of research shows that sugar can cause just systemic inflammation along with that spike in blood sugar. Also non-nutritive sweeteners, they may seem harmless and they are the lesser of evils, but the research again points that there are some interesting things that can happen in our bodies when we consume non-nutritive sweeteners as well. Now, again, relating back to those fruits and vegetables, the fructose in fruit is okay. You don't need to count that as a processed sugar. And then down here at the bottom right, we have no alcohol. We all know it, but boy is an ice cold brew tasty at the end of the day. I know how you guys feel, but again, 4 days out of the week, can you abstain? No alcohol of any kind, including our delicious dry reds, perhaps a nice Shiraz. But again, 4 days out of the week, we are going to try to stay out of that. So next area, we have mindset and stress. First, we have sleep. So shooting for 7 to 9+ hours. Again, you don't have a commute anymore. So that's going to be an easy 1.5 hours right there, or an hour right there, that you can now focus on getting more sleep. Again, in terms of regulating your body, all of those, recuperative hormones that can flow through our bodies when we're in that deep REM sleep. We get to take full advantage of that with 7 to 9 or more hours if you're a hibernating bear sort of person. Next up, we have a journal. Again, journal's a pretty nebulous term, but we give you that criteria. What we want to see is 1 to 2 each of wins of the day, something that you did that you knocked out of the park that you feel really good about. Gratitude, something that you're thankful for. Could be your family, could be that high score that you got on your favorite racing game. I don't know. Or moments, anything maybe epic or funny that happened that day. And then you'll take all of your entries from Monday through Saturday and reflect on them on Sunday, and really realize, even though it's easy to get wrapped up in the state of the world, looking back on that journal, you realize, man, life is pretty darn good. Real quick, I wanted to go back to the sleep card. What will support getting more sleep is developing an evening routine. So turning off the electronics 1 to 2 hours before bed, basically doing the same thing. Some other things, for example, don't do things, this is going to sound strange, don't do things other than sleeping in your bedroom, with some exceptions. But for example, don't study or don't do work in your bedroom. You want your bedroom to be associated with sleep, and also no caffeine in the afternoon. So again, those are things that support your sleep. But if you're getting those 7 to 9 hours, you are good to go. Next up, we have meditation. Again, simple criteria, 5 to 20 minutes. Get that 5 minutes done. Literally set a timer and sit still. I believe in you. You can do it. There are many different kinds of meditation. So if you want to go down the rabbit hole on that, you could probably talk to Otoya, one of our coaches here at Chikara. He's the real guru of the bunch. I think we all know and love him. But you have mindfulness meditation. You can just sit there and breathe, or you can just sit still and be quiet. You don't have to do a thing. And that could be quality, that could count as meditation. Next up is breathing. This is widely known as cyclic hyperventilation. But what many of us know, the buzzword is probably the Wim Hof method. This is something that I've done. It's really simple. If you need more details, I can explain it to you. What we're shooting for, again, as a criteria, is 2 to 6 cycles per day. One cycle takes 2 to 3 minutes. So again, what we're talking about is, 6+ minutes. You could still probably get done in under 10 minutes with 3 cycles. This is great to do supporting the other habits in the challenge. Great to do before your meditation. Great to do before your mobility work. Next up is boosting our vitamin D. So getting some direct sunlight. Again, we have an easy criteria, 5 to 15 minutes, either in direct sunlight or maybe dappled sunlight, like in a nature trail or something. But the key here is that similar to the meditation, we want you to stay present. We want you to listen to nature. We want you to really get that green therapy and soak it in. So no phones, no electronic devices. Don't go to a bench in the park and open Instagram. That's going to defeat the purpose. We want you to go out to the bench in the park and really focus and soak it in. And then last, pretty easy. I think we could all handle a Chris Farley movie marathon right about now. We want you to laugh more. There's some good research that laughter can boost your white blood cell count. Again, white blood cells being those, immune cells. Watching comedies, watching funny videos, no shortage of that. And not only that, but if you find a funny video, share it on the Facebook group. Connect with your fellow challenge participants. Show us what you're laughing at. Now, comedy is always fraught with peril. We might think you're a little wacky, but hey, at least we get to see that side of your sense of humor as well. Or if, as a very last resort, tell some dad jokes, and that's okay. Or mom jokes. Any puns will do. We'll take them all. And then last, the one that we've probably all already been doing, but if you're new to the challenge, then this is a great chance to start building your fitness. So again, we have these options. We got the 10,000 steps. You've probably heard it before. Just increasing general blood flow. This would be, for some of us, maybe like that general warm-up portion of our training for that day. What it looks like for perhaps the uninitiated would be like a brisk walk for 20 to 40 minutes. Now, in this case, not necessarily tied to the mindfulness, you could listen to an audiobook or keep yourself distracted. But again, you have that option too of getting double credit. You can also do this maybe on a nature trail or, in a natural environment no distractions, stay present, and then you get double credit for your, let me remind myself of your either, the get sun, the vitamin D for immunity. So staying present, listening to nature while getting your 10,000 steps. Next option is doing some training, a home workout. We're going to be providing support on Watt Up workout, I believe 5 days a week or more through the program, or you can do literally anything else you want to do. You can jog in place. You can do burpees for 30 minutes, but 30 plus minutes. And again, as another criteria, easy win, doesn't even have to be more than an hour. So you give yourself a hard stop at an hour. Next up is yoga. This is an area that I used to be, or it is near and dear to my heart. I also used to teach yoga, but we're talking about, again, 20 to 40 minutes. Yoga covers a lot of bases. It's kind of, you get to stretch, but also breathe deeply. It's also mindfulness, all tied into one. So you might, amidst all of this, the lockdown situation, you might discover a love for yoga, and that might become a big part of your lifestyle. The type of yoga that I like is power yoga, Ashtanga yoga. But if you'd like some other, support or some other ideas for how to incorporate yoga or which type of yoga you'd like to do, of course, feel free to talk to us or other group members. Next up, we have mobility and flexibility. We see some good support for like injury prevention and recovery. This is going to look like foam rolling or any of the like mobility WOD type stuff. Again, we have those resources for you if you want to know more details. We're talking about 10 to 30 minutes here. And then finally, your rehab or prehab, if you're already doing a physical therapy routine or you've been prescribed physical therapy by a physical therapist, you get to just continue on track with that and you get a point for it. So easy day, no worries. So as I've mentioned before, the rules, if you can call them that, the criteria for adhering to the challenge, we're asking for 4 out of 7 days, knock it out of the park. Those other 3 days, you can do whatever you want within reason. Don't undo all your hard work. What you'll probably find is that you feel better when you stick to these habits anyway. So I'm gonna predict it now. I think Daryl's gonna go 7 out of 7 every darn week. So again, we're talking about 3 to 9 habits. Doing the math on that, that's either 1 per key area, or again, 1 to 3 per key area. So 3 per key area would be 9. Anywhere in between, choose the ones that work for you and stick to them at least 4 out of 7 days. And we'll give you bonus points for more. And finally, in terms of support, we've got our Facebook group, we've got Watt Up, we've got Instagram. So if you go to facebook.com/groups/e.Chikara challenge, you can find us. Again, sharing ideas, making daily posts, offering support. We have www.waddup.com. You guys are already largely familiar with it, but again, if you're new to the group, join our Watt Up, log your workouts. We'll even, I believe, have space to kind of log your progress or log your kind of thoughts and reflections for those mindfulness areas and things like that. You can also find us on Instagram at Chikara Fitness. And if you are participating and making your own posts that relate to this challenge, please use the hashtag Chikara Challenge. Again, we have the Watt Up screen here, and we're going to have a walkthrough on how to log our stuff on Watt Up in later videos. So we are, again, doing as much as we possibly can to support you through the challenge, give you the best chance of success. So that is it for the official presentation. I have not had a chance to look at the chat yet. I'm going to open it up now and open up the floor for any questions. So I've successfully made it back to the beard comment. So I'm going from the top here. Is coffee okay? Is coffee okay? Is that the only question we've had? Coffee is a fluid. It can hydrate you, but it's also a diuretic. It'll make you pee more than, say, just purified water. I don't have a clear kind of criteria. I've seen a couple of different things. If you are having coffee, again, don't put sugar in it. I've seen a few things, and you'll want to, of course, confirm anything I say by researching. What I've seen is up to 4 like standard cups of coffee. Like I believe the standard cup of coffee is 6 ounces, not 8. So up to 4 6-ounce servings of coffee spread throughout the day can actually be good for you. In the short term, when you have the coffee, it increases your blood sugar, but long term, it makes your insulin sensitivity kind of flatten out, or rather your blood sugar response to other things flatten out. Likewise, when you first have that coffee, your heart rate can increase, of course, but in the long term, as your baseline, your resting heart rate can actually decrease, which is less stress on your heart and arteries and so on. But again, please, if any of what I say is subject to needing to be confirmed, these are just things that I keep in my mind for my own behaviors. Almond milk, within reason, I think that's fine, JC. If it's like a splash, don't drink the entire 2 liter of almond milk. Aaron, thank you for your input on the journal. Michael, as well, thank you for your input. Daryl, I'll always give you a shout out, buddy. I think that's it for probably the questions. Eat it. Don't worry about missing it. We will be recording this, and then I believe we're going to post it to YouTube and then share it on the Facebook group. So do not fret about that. Oh, thank you, Michael. JC with a delicious ginger beverage recipe. Does honey count? Honey, it's the lesser of evils, I would say. Again, you're not going to want to get a primary portion of your daily calories through honey, but under I would say like 50 calories a day worth of honey is probably reasonable. Yes, Kim, I'm with you. 800 grams of vegetables is a challenge, and that's why it's a challenge. But again, I like your question. I think to answer that a little bit better, it would be better to kind of give you a visual idea. I'll make a note of that, and we'll get a visual representation of 800 grams on our Facebook page when possible. I'll go ahead and make a note of that now. Kitaki vitamin C, it is water soluble. So taking vitamin C as like a super dose is likely not harmful. You would pee out the excess. I would check examine.com to see the latest research. Again, that's examine.com. I'll go ahead and type that into the chat. But examine.com does a great job of gathering the most recent research. I have not seen anything super compelling on vitamin C that I take it myself. But if you look at the research and you feel like that's compelling enough for you to make that a habit, then that's okay. It is, again, water soluble, so you would pee out the excess. Thank you, Daryl. Thank you, JC. 1 broccoli, 225 grams, eat 4 whole stems. Yeah, Kim, you are on it. So yeah, this can be relative to you. Like Michael said, you can look at maybe 2 fists worth. So I am in the fortunate or unfortunate position of having these like donkey fists. Yeah, so I have to eat a lot. It's a lot of chewing, but buddy, we're all in this together. Submit your experiences of having to chew all that food to the Facebook group, and we will be there to support you. Yoga practices or workouts in a tiny space. I mean, in general, if you have a space the size of a yoga mat, you can likely do, yoga within that space. Like Michael said, we're going to be sending out videos of our favorite resources. I intend on making videos as well with either minimal space or minimal equipment. But yeah, we can get some good resources out to you for that as well. So it looks like the questions are starting to dwindle. I will stand by for any other questions that are coming to mind right now. It was great to sit down with you guys here, do the presentation together. And I'm glad that you guys are excited about the challenge. I know I'm excited about the challenge, and I'm really looking forward to continue to serve our community and the worldwide community. It's really awesome to have everybody. Yep, Kentucky, we're going to be sending out through email as well. Thank you, Edith. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you, Aaron. Thanks a lot, JC. Good. And yeah, and as you guys see in the chat, WAD up instead of Instagram or Facebook is also an option. We'll be keeping an eye and managing that as well. Thank you, Shengjia. Good. All right, I'm about to sign off. I really appreciate everything. Kim, this all starts off on Monday, JST, Japan time. I believe that is the 13th. Yep, it'll start. So we'll have everything available 3 p.m. Oh, if you're interested in seeing the same content in Japanese and seeing our lovely Now, please tune in. You guys can come for the 3 p.m. session in Japanese with Now. I'm going to go ahead and sign off. We are here to support you. So if you missed anything or didn't get a chance to ask anything, again, Facebook, WhatsApp, email, any channel you can think of, we're going to be here for you. So thank you guys very much. We will see you in the funny pictures.